Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing The Magnificent Seven, a remake of The Magnificent Seven. Apparently this is following Ben-Hur in some sort of recent trend, well that's not really a trend, it's just two movies so far, of films from the 1960s that nobody really cares about getting remakes that nobody really cares about. So I'm thinking, at least in terms of audience reception and profitability, it's gonna go about the same way. People are gonna go, what the fuck's the Magnificent Seven? I don't fucking care. And just go see Suicide Squad for the 50th time, because... Anyway, So in terms of the movie, I haven't seen the original film, and in fact... I'm not much of a Western guy. Like, I have seen some of the old films. Like, I've seen the Searchers, and there's been a few others. I've seen like Blazing Saddles and stuff. I've seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's a great film. I've seen a few different films, either about westerns or set in the West and all that, and yeah, you know, just not the type of thing I'm into. And I know I'm not alone on that. I know that the rest of the world has kind of gotten over the whole craze. But there have been people who've brought it back for like one movie, like True Grit a little while back, that did pretty well, just by taking an old story and turning it into something new. So, you know, it's possible that they'll do the same thing with this. But I just get the feeling, based on the look of it, based on the posters and all, that it's really just going to be kind of your standard action movie. Kind of like what they did with Ben-Hur. And there's not going to be much to it. Yeah, that's just my concern with the whole thing. Also, the fact that the tagline I saw on the poster is so stupid. It's like something a marketing person came up with in an instant as a joke, and they went with it for some reason. And that is, the tagline to the Magnificent Seven remake is, "Justice has a number." Justice has a number, and it is 7. What? Who wrote that? That's terrible. I could come up with a better tagline right now. Let's see, wow, I actually can't. I'm not much of a tagline guy. Anyway, before I humiliate myself anymore, let's just move on to the after portion. Alright, and I'm back. That kinda blew. Yeah, I know. I don't like saying those things, you know, but this really did not feel like something anybody really wanted to make. Like, at all. The only person who looked like he was enjoying himself even slightly was Chris Pratt, but he can only do so much. I mean, let's just go with the problems immediately out of the gate, right? Movie starts, there's explosions. It's a good sign. Exploding in mines, I think, and people are running around screaming, and then people are bringing a metal chest into a bank. So I'm thinking, okay, so somebody's about to rob a bank, or somebody has robbed a bank because there's guys with guns, and they're waiting for people to not rob them. And then there's suddenly in like a town meeting in a church discussing how the local business proprietor has taken their land or something. Well, what was that scene? What was that imagery beforehand? What was that? What was the explosions and people running? What was that? Were they attacking people? It didn't look like that. They were just like blowing things in mines. But see, already out of the gate, the direction and the editing is confusing to people, and that's yeah. This movie has a really bad beginning. Like, we're introduced to the villain, who's a complete cartoon character. I'm not even joking, like, Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit is less of a cartoon character than this guy. He walks in and he says, "Americans associate democracy with capitalism, and capitalism with God. So you are going to give me my dirt." Like, he's saying crap like that. He's like, "Reach into this jar of dirt, little boy." It's like, oh my god. You know, I wouldn't mind stuff like this so much if they honestly just went with it. If this was like a goofy, you know, I hate to say it because Chris Pratt is in this, but like a Guardians of the Galaxy style light humor type thing, I could roll with it. Like, could be fun. I know the original Magnificent Seven isn't like that, but you know, remakes are for experimenting, reevaluating what you can do with the story, right? But instead, they have like a really silly looking villain like that, and then try to treat him like a serious threat, and everyone is very serious about it. So it's like they want to be serious, but have no idea how to. It does get a touch better towards the end. I mean, they introduce all of the Magnificent Seven characters. That's the first half of the movie, introducing everyone and getting them ready and all that. And you know, that's just kind of dull. I mean, none of the characters really have much of a personality that stands out. I mean, like, it's kind of like the Suicide Squad situation where everyone's just kind of relegated to background status most of the time. Yeah, it just kind of dull for a really long time. But towards the end, like, they just devolve into basically one big long action scene, and at that point, it starts to become more like a popcorn movie. You know, you watch it and you're just enjoying yourself, seeing all these people like taking that, defending themselves from a horde of angry guys with guns and stuff, and you know, it's pretty fun. But once again, they kind of ruin it towards the very end when everyone just starts dying, and they try to take it seriously, and like have sad moments and stuff. And that's when it starts to lose you again. So that's why I kind of say the movie blows. One of the main things I noticed too, like with the characters that died and stuff, is that this should really be a red light for anyone making a movie like this. If you could honestly switch out which characters die and which ones live, just like switch them out randomly, and have the exact same emotional impact, you're doing it wrong. But like literally, it's like they just picked a handful to live, a handful to die, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't care about these people. And the funny thing is, like, you care so little about these guys towards the end that the ones that died, they showed their gravestones, and in order to remind us who they are, because, like, nobody's going to remember their names or anything, they put, like, the relic that they had associated with them. Like, Chris Pratt's character used cards a lot. He played a card trick, so they put a card on there. You know, just to remind us, oh, that's Chris Pratt's character. Okay. I just spoiled that Chris Pratt died. But anyway, I'm sorry. Apologies. Yeah, I wouldn't see this in the theaters. I don't think it's, like, awful or anything, but yeah, definitely make it more of a rental type thing. Make it something you'd have on at a party, maybe something you're watching while you're trying to get to sleep. But it's not going to really stimulate your mind or entertain you to super levels or anything like that. It's just kind of... That's kind of something to sit back and not pay too much attention to, just let it run. That's all I can say about it. So yeah, and until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dire Situation.